Have you been feeling a strange sensation that something within you is unraveling, that the ground beneath your feet is no longer the same? This quiet distress, this persistent discomfort that haunts your days, is not a sign of failure or weakness, but a profound whisper from the universe, a cosmic validation for the pain you carry. The feeling of stagnation, the confusion that clouds your mind, and that unsettling inner sensation of crumbling or breaking apart are echoes of old patterns that, however familiar, no longer serve your higher purpose. You are not alone at this existential crossroads, at this threshold where the known dissolves and the uncertain beckons. It's an understandable frustration to feel something essential falling apart without a map to guide the transition, fearing that this might be proof of your failure. But if this message has reached you, it's because your soul yearns for authentic depth, for real applicability, for crystal clear clarity, and genuine emotional impact, seeking to transform this apparent disintegration into empowerment. Breathe and feel the resonance of this truth. Welcome to an understanding that transcends common perception, for this feeling of misalignment, this inner turbulence that leaves you in suspense, is not a system error, but the inevitable response of your own vibrational structure, your authentic self. The pure essence that dwells in the creative void of your soul has raised its frequency, generating a crucial incompatibility with the old thought patterns, limiting beliefs, and past realities that once shaped your existence. Think of it as a powerful system reset, an intrinsic demand from the quantum field for whatever no longer resonates with your new energy to dissolve, freeing up space for an inevitable expansion. Your reality, once rigidly defined, now vibrates on a different octave, and the friction you feel is the physical and spiritual manifestation of this profound readjustment, a coherence process that pulls you out of your comfort zone and into a new territory of possibilities. It is the neuroplasticity of your soul in action, reorganizing your synapses of being. What appears to be a collapse, a painful disintegration of what you considered familiar and safe, is, in fact, a quantum portal opening, a magnificent opportunity for transmutation. Imagine, for a moment, the grandeur of a supernova, a spectacular end, an explosion of energy and light that marks the apparent annihilation of a massive star. However, this cataclysmic farewell is not an end in itself, but the violent and necessary prelude to the birth of something infinitely greater, brighter, and fundamentally new. Planets, entire star systems forged from the debris of creation. Your experience mirrors this cosmic magnificence. The particles of your old self are being reordered in the cauldron of existence, not to perish, but to form a version of you that is more potent, more aligned with your totality, a pure manifestation of your essence freed from the shackles of the past. Feel this metamorphosis pulsating in your cells. In this deep dive we will take together, you will not only unveil the hidden truth behind this intense feeling that your old self is ready to collapse, but, more crucially, I will hand you the frequency key. This is no ordinary tool, but the exact vibrational instrument to transform this transition, which today may seem chaotic or frightening, into your greatest and most conscious ascension. You will understand the purpose of this dissolution and learn to navigate it with grace, converting pain and doubt into a powerful leverage for your evolution and personal power, manifesting a new self more aligned with your essential truth. Allow yourself now to close your eyes for an instant, breathe deeply, and feel the truth of this statement reverberate in every fiber of your being, an intimate invitation from the universe for your own liberation. This moment, this exact now, is a sacred gift, a deliberate pause in the current of life so you can reconnect with your deepest purpose. Your attention is the very manifestation of your intention. Have you been feeling that the structures that once defined you are trembling, that the foundations of who you thought you were are yielding under an invisible but undeniable pressure? This visceral sensation, this anguish that manifests as an emptiness in your chest or an inexplicable fatigue, is not a sign that something is wrong on your journey, but rather irrefutable proof that something incredibly right is happening within you. It is the clearest message the universe could send, reverberating in every cell, in every fiber of your being, announcing a transition of cosmic magnitude. What you interpret as crumbling What the rational mind tries to label as failure or setback is, in reality, the vibrational signal that your authentic self is recalibrating, elevating to a frequency that the old system can no longer support. Trust this process, for it is the gateway to an expanded reality. Imagine that your essence, your soul, has decided to tune into a completely new radio station with melodies and frequencies much higher than what you were accustomed to hearing. Your old self, with its ingrained thought patterns, its limiting beliefs about yourself and the world, and its conditioned emotional reactions, is like an old radio set, programmed only for the low, repetitive frequencies of the past. When the new frequency begins to pulse through you, an inevitable incompatibility arises. The old self can no longer resonate with the clarity and amplitude of this new energy, and what you feel is the friction, the distortion, the white noise that precedes perfect tuning. It is the universe whispering, or perhaps shouting, "This system is no longer suitable for the grandeur you are becoming." Think of your being, your body, and your mind as an incredibly complex operating system. You have accumulated programs, applications, and files throughout your entire life. The beliefs you absorbed from family, the truths society sold you, the fears that took root after painful experiences. This is your old OS. Now, the universe, or rather your own expanded consciousness, is sending a massive update, a 2.0 version of your soul, filled with new capabilities, perspectives, and a level of energy that was previously unattainable. But the old software, with its processing limitations and outdated architecture, simply cannot run this new version. The screen may freeze, programs may crash, and the system might even seem to collapse. This is not an error. It is a system reset, a demand for everything that no longer serves you to be uninstalled. This reset is not optional. It is a biological and energetic response to your own evolution. Cellular memories, the neuronal synapses that reinforced old habits of thought and reaction, begin to disorganize, to disintegrate, because they no longer find vibrational support in your new internal reality. You may feel this as profound disorientation, a loss of interest in things that once brought you pleasure, or an inexplicable aversion to environments and people who were once your safe haven. This occurs because your energetic field is reorganizing, rejecting everything that is out of harmony with the higher frequency you now embody. It's like a computer that, when trying to load a game with state-of-the-art graphics, realizes its graphics card is too old and that the entire system needs to be updated to function optimally, or even to function at all. It is at this exact moment of apparent disorder that neuroplasticity comes into play, preparing the ground for new connections. Your brain is being reconfigured, allowing neural pathways more aligned with your new frequency to begin forming. Those patterns of self-sabotage, chronic fear, and scarcity that you carried like a second skin are losing their strength. Their energetic roots are being severed. The confusion you experience is the mist that dissipates before the landscape of your new consciousness reveals itself in all its clarity. You are witnessing the dissolution of the last vestiges of an identity that no longer serves you, an identity built on external conditioning and expectations, and not on the immutable truth of your essence. Feel this dissolution not as a loss, but as a liberation from weight. This feeling of misalignment is not limited to your interior. It vividly reflects in your external reality, in the mirror principle. Suddenly, relationships that were once comfortable become unbearable. Jobs that offered security seem empty and purposeless, and even your own hobbies and interests may appear superficial or disconnected from your new depth. This is because the old self projected a reality that was in coherence with its previous frequency. But now that your resonance has elevated, these projections have become dissonant. Your expanded vibrational field is naturally repelling everything that is not in tune with your new truth, creating a vacuum that, although initially uncomfortable, is essential for the new to manifest. Accepting this repulsion is the first step to honoring your ascension. You may feel compelled to drastically change your environment, to end cycles with people who no longer vibrate on the same frequency, or to seek new forms of expression that were not previously part of your repertoire. This is not erratic behavior, but a deep internal guidance, a call from your soul to align your outer world with your newly discovered inner truth. The external Collapse you observe in some areas of your life is merely the reverberation of the internal collapse of your old self, an energetic clearing process that is removing obstacles to your highest manifestation. Do not resist the need to let go. For each farewell opens space for a reunion with a more authentic and vibrant version of yourself and your life. The paradox is that what appears to be a death, a painful end to what you knew, is actually the birth of a new reality, of a new version of you. It is the totality of your being recalibrating to a frequency of existence that until now was only a whisper in your soul. Every fragment of the old self that disintegrates is not being lost, but transmuted, reabsorbed by the essence to build the foundation of what is to come. Quantum physics teaches us that the wave of possibilities must collapse for a particle, a specific reality to manifest. Your old self is the wave of all past possibilities that is now collapsing, paving the way for the emergence of a new particle, a new you, with infinite and unprecedented possibilities. Surrendering to this collapse process is crucial. Trying to hold on to what is falling apart, resisting dissolution, only prolongs the pain and confusion. True strength lies in allowing the energetic flow of your evolution to carry you, trusting that you are being guided to a place of greater authenticity and power. Your soul is asking you to release the ties to the known, to detach from old identifications that are now too small to contain the vastness of who you truly are. This is the paradigm shift, seeing the anguish of disintegration as an invitation, a dimensional portal to your next phase of expansion. Feel the courage that emerges from this acceptance, the confidence that every fiber of your being is orchestrating your ascension with divine precision. Feel this now as you read. Allow yourself to feel this internal turbulence, this sensation of the ground trembling beneath your feet, not as something to be feared, but as a powerful wave of energy that is clearing the path. Notice the tension in your body, the lightness in your heart, or the sudden clarity in your mind when this truth resonates deeply. The body, like a sensitive barometer, is responding to this vibrational recalibration. Perhaps you feel a tingling, a warmth in the center of your chest, or a sensation of weight being lifted from your shoulders. These are the somatic signs that transformation is active, that your nervous system is adapting to the new frequency, deprogramming old fight or flight responses and installing a new program of peace and alignment. Your energetic signature, the invisible field of information and energy that you emanate, is changing. Previously, it was imbued with memories of pain, scarcity, and self-limitation. Now, with the elevation of your frequency, this signature is purifying, becoming more coherent, more aligned with the abundance, joy, and fullness that are your true essence. This new vibrational field begins to attract new experiences, new people, and new opportunities that correspond to your elevated frequency. It is a natural process of resonance. You are becoming a magnet for everything that is in harmony with your new self. Therefore, old connections and situations pull away, as they can no longer vibrate in coherence with your newly discovered light. Understand that all the discomfort, all the feeling of death you have been experiencing, is precisely the purpose of this collapse. It is the preparation, the necessary emptying so that the new can fill it. Without this purging, you would not have space for your expanded self, for your soul to manifest in its fullness. It is like the earth that needs to be plowed and fertilized before new seeds can be planted and thrive. The ground of your being is being prepared with cosmic love and precision, removing the weeds of limiting beliefs and ingrained fears, so that the seeds of your highest dreams and your deepest truth can finally flourish in a tangible reality. Have you noticed the subtle signs that something greater was being prepared for you, even amidst the discomfort? Think of the unexpected insights, the synchronicities that emerged, the moments of clarity that pierced through the fog of confusion. Perhaps a book fell into your hands, a conversation with a stranger ignited a new perspective, or a dream revealed a profound truth. These are the markers of the path, the breadcrumbs your soul has left to guide you through this labyrinth of transformation. They are the evidence that, even when everything seemed to be dismantling, a higher intelligence was orchestrating your ascension, weaving the threads of a grander destiny, waiting for you to recognize your own divinity in process. This perception is crucial, as it leads us to the next vital question. If this collapse is an inevitable sign and a catalyst for your evolution, what is the real key to ensure that this system reboot does not result in chaotic disorder but rather leads us, consciously and intentionally, to your greatest ascension? How can we transform turbulence into a springboard, despair into discovery, and uncertainty into a solid platform for the manifestation of your new self? There is a method, a specific frequency that can be activated, not only to navigate this transition with grace, but to actively co-create the reality you desire from the ruins of the old. If this truth resonates with you, if your soul feels the authenticity of this revelation, and you recognize the grandeur behind your apparent disorder, click like and help this message reach more souls in transition who, like you, are at this threshold between the old and the new. Your action is a vibrational echo that amplifies the light, validating the journey of many who feel lost in this process of renewal. By liking, you not only acknowledge your own truth but also become a beacon, an energy multiplier for those who are still seeking understanding amidst their own collapse. Feel the unity in this act of mutual support, and know that you are never alone on this journey of ascension. Your journey thus far has been one of recognition, of feeling the inevitability of a necessary dissolution. You felt the old self break apart, not as a sign of failure but as the reverberation of an unstoppable vibrational ascension. Now, as the dust settles and silence takes hold in the debris of what was, you yearn for direction, for a map to this vast and unknown new territory. The frequency key emerges at this exact moment, not as something to be sought externally, but as an innate power residing within your consciousness, a tool that allows you to align your deepest emotions, your most intimate thoughts, and your most everyday actions with the elevated frequency of your authentic essence, of your higher self, that is eager to fully manifest. This frequency key is not a mystical gift from external sources, but rather an active choice, a deliberate act of tuning your being to the melody of your highest truth. It is the conscious decision to vibrate in alignment with the magnificent person you are becoming, releasing the insistence on resonating with the identity, beliefs, and limitations of the person you once were. You feel this distinction in every cell, a clarity that pierces through the fog of the past. The neuroplasticity of your brain is already reconfiguring neural networks, preparing the ground for this new frequency to be not just a possibility, but your new and undeniable reality, irreversibly shaping your energetic field. In the quantum field, everything is energy and frequency. Your thoughts and emotions are not mere internal events. They are emissions of energy that co-create your reality. You have already experienced the attraction of similar energies, such as when a thought of worry attracts more reasons to worry, or an intention of gratitude expands the beauty around you. This is the principle of resonance in action. By activating your frequency key, you are deliberately choosing the field of possibilities with which you will resonate, the universe of experiences that your most authentic self is destined to inhabit, transforming theory into daily lived experience. Perhaps you have spent years trying to fix what felt wrong, stuck in self-help cycles that seem to only scratch the surface. You felt the frustration, the powerlessness, the sense that a piece was missing from the puzzle of your manifestation. This pain, this doubt, was not a flaw in you. It was merely your authentic frequency crying out for alignment, a dysrhythmia between who you were and who you truly are. Now, the frequency key invites you to move, from attempting to fix to the art of tuning in, of allowing your essence to naturally resonate with the abundance and joy that are yours by divine right, effortlessly, simply with vibrational permission. To understand the practical power of this key, think of your consciousness as a high-fidelity radio. For a long time, you were tuned to old stations, repetitive programs of fear, lack, or doubt, those frequencies your old self knew so well. The collapse you felt was the deafening noise, the static between stations, an unequivocal sign that the previous tuning was no longer viable, that the dial was turning on its own, driven by a greater force within you that yearned for something clearer and more expansive. It was the universe urging you to seek a new station, a new vibration that resonated with your true power. The frequency key is the fine, intentional turn of that dial, your ability to precisely select the station of reality you wish to experience. Your thoughts are the hands. On the knob, your emotions are the auditory feedback that confirms whether you are approaching or moving away from perfect tuning. When you choose joy, gratitude, trust, compassion, you are not just having a good feeling. You are turning the dial to a specific, clear, interference-free frequency that attracts experiences aligned with this new vibration. The quantum field instantly responds to this new calibration, reordering itself to mirror your internal choice. Feel this now as you read. Feel the difference between the static of an old frequency, perhaps a persistent worry, a judgment about yourself, and the clarity of a new, pure, and elevated frequency. Close your eyes for an instant and imagine the physical sensation of soft, harmonious music filling your being, in contrast to an irritating hiss. The first is light, expansive, fills your chest with a sense of possibility. The second is dense, constricting, creates a knot in your stomach or throat. Your own biology is a mirror of this tuning, your heart coherence reflecting internal harmony or dysrhythmia, informing your field. The mirror principle manifests here with brutal clarity. If you continue to tune into the frequencies of fear, your reality will reflect situations that validate it, that reinforce that vibration. But by activating the frequency key, by turning the dial to the station of trust and abundance, your outer world must readjust to mirror this new internal tuning. You have already seen this happen on small scales when a good day seems to attract more good things, or when a positive thought about someone changes the interaction. Imagine this effect amplified, consciously directed to manifest a new field of possibilities, with you in command of the tuning. That pain you felt during the collapse, the fear of the unknown, the anguish of unraveling, all of it was not an invitation to despair. It was a catalyst. It was the necessary friction for you to realize that the old station no longer served. The paradigm shift occurs when you realize that the true key is not to avoid the noise, but to use the moment of noise as an impetus to seek greater clarity. It is to transform doubt about the future into an ardent curiosity for what the new frequency will reveal, understanding that dissolution is always a prerequisite for ascension, and that you hold the power of resonance. So, with this deep understanding of the frequency key and the power it confers upon you, I ask you now, inviting sincere and profound introspection, which old frequencies, those repetitive songs of fear, the limiting beliefs that have so long dominated your programming, are you truly ready to stop tuning into today, once and for all? What mental and emotional noises are you ready to silence, allowing the purity of your new frequency to emerge unimpeded, without the old voices that dictated your narrative? Feel this choice reverberate in your field. The beauty of the frequency key lies in its ability to transform static into symphony, collapse into conscious co-creation. You now understand that the turn of the dial is in your hands. But with the key in hand, with this new understanding and power of tuning, how can we then actively build the new reality, manifesting the self that emerged from this collapse and that vibrates at such an elevated frequency? How do we transform this tuning into a tangible architecture of an extraordinary life, allowing neuroplasticity to continue its work of restructuring your internal and external world? The answer lies in a profound active integration. If you feel this truth in every fiber of your being, if the vibration of the frequency key is already activating new circuits in your consciousness, I now invite you to an act of co-creation with this unified field. Leave in the comments below, with all your intention and power, I am the key. Feel this affirmation reverberate. Feel the energy of this declaration sealing your commitment to your new frequency. And by doing so, you not only share your truth but also amplify the resonance for all who are tuning into this new station of possibilities. You now feel the final reverberation of the vibrational singularity point, the gentle but irrefutable certainty that the old self, in its benevolent dissolution, yielded space for the magnificence that has always been latent in your essence. It is not merely a sensation, it is the culmination of a profound alchemical process, where the collapse was not an end, but the most potent of purifications, clearing the ground of your consciousness for the edifice of something infinitely more aligned and resonant. Your frequency key, carefully activated, now serves as the master diagram, the stellar map that guides your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions toward the conscious manifestation of the new self. one forged in the crucible of transition and now emerging, brilliant and whole. Understand that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds to the clarity of your intention and the coherence of your frequency. You are not merely waiting for manifestation. You are the conductor, orchestrating every note of the symphony of your new reality, weaving it with the luminous thread of your purest will, anchored in the truth of who you have truly become. Imagine yourself now as the divine architect of your own existence, positioned before a vast, clean plot of land, where ruins of the past once crumbled into stardust. This was the gift of your collapse, the benevolent clearing that set the stage for unprecedented creation. The frequency key, which you have carefully tuned, is not merely an adornment, but the complete compendium of blueprints, vibrational tools, and energetic materials that the cosmos has bestowed upon you for this monumental work. Every thought you nurture, every emotion you allow to blossom, every intention you project, is a solid brick, a beam of light that you place with millimeter precision. You are erecting the magnificent structure of your new self and concomitantly, the new life it will inhabit, not arbitrarily or by chance, but brick by brick of pure intention, with the wisdom of one who understands the interconnection between the micro and the macro, between internal vibration and external manifestation, conscious that every detail resonates with the totality of your expanding being. This phase is one of intentional co-creation, where you cease to be a mere spectator of life and become the maestro orchestrating every aspect of your new vibrational symphony. It is vital that you understand the intrinsic power of setting clear energetic boundaries, for the new self, in its integrity, needs a sacred space to manifest fully, free from the interferences and residual frequencies of the past. You are actively choosing what resonates with you and what you allow into your energy field, into your perception, into your reality. This is not a rejection, but an elevated discernment, an act of self-love that protects the nascent purity of your new frequency. Every no to an old pattern is a powerful yes to your highest version. Every boundary established is a pillar strengthening the structure of your new reality. You are consciously sculpting the space so that the abundance, joy, and peace that vibrate in your new essence can finally anchor themselves in your tangible experience. Allow yourself now, with confident and joyful surrender, for the blessings inherent in your new frequency to manifest in your life in ways that your rational mind may not yet fully conceive. Permission is the key that unlocks energy flows previously constricted by the old self's patterns. It is the explicit invitation for the universe to deliver, with precision and generosity, the experiences and the resources that are in perfect alignment with your vibrational elevation. Feel the totality of this permission reverberate in every cell of your being, an echo of anticipated gratitude for what is already on its way, already collapsing into your tangible existence. This is not a passive wait, but an active acceptance, a state of reception that opens to the divine intelligence that orchestrates synchronicities and opportunities, guiding you through previously unseen paths. Trust that what you have planted with your pure intention and vibrational alignment is now flourishing, and the rewards are as inevitable as the sunrise, manifesting as everyday miracles. Feel this now, as the light of your new consciousness radiates through you. What aspects of your new self are you ready to fully embody and manifest starting today, in this exact moment, in this eternal present of your expanding existence? Let this question penetrate deeply into your being, not as a mental inquiry, but as an invitation to vibrational action. It is your soul asking you not just to visualize, but to be this new version in every choice, in every word, in every pulsation of your heart, allowing the coherence of your internal frequency to rewrite the narrative of your external reality. Allow the image of who you have become, stripped of the shackles of the past and filled with the freedom of the now, to solidify in your perception, anchoring you in a truth that is intrinsic and inalienable. Manifestation is not a future event, but a continuous series of choices and alignments in the present, a vibrational dance with the cosmos that invites you to live your highest truth, expanding what is possible. Your new reality is being drawn, brick by brick of intention, breath by breath of alignment, but the journey of sustaining and flourishing this new frequency requires vigilance and wisdom. To ensure that your new self not only emerges but thrives and radiates its light unshakably, there is a final and crucial step that many forget, an essential pillar for maintaining your ascension that prevents any regression. This is the secret to permanently solidify the transformation you have begun, ensuring that the foundation of your new being is robust and resilient in the face of any challenge. Feel the urgency of this truth, the need to deepen your knowledge even further. And if this message resonates with the truth you seek, if you recognize the importance of guiding others to the light of their own transformation, then share this video with someone you feel is on the threshold of their own great ascension, an invitation for the wave of consciousness to propagate, touching hearts and minds in a collective awakening.